I'm here to represent the scientific perspective because I think it's really important if you're going to go so far as introduce a measure that has this potential for impact on farmers, that you get the science right. And quite frankly, the science is not what was intended by the writers, because it really captures a large number of techniques that are actually used by organic farmers in the crops that they grow. And I don't think they realize this. Because modern GMOs, the normal definition for that is modern recombinant DNA technology. But as the measure is written, it describes using protoplast fusion and cell fusion and hybridization that involves bypassing normal physiological and reproduction barriers. Well, we've been doing that for 50 or 60 years. And I'll give you some specific examples. For example, strawberries. The chromosomes have been modified so you get your nice big fat healthy strawberries, and this is done using a chemical called colchicine that changes the number of chromosomes. It's called changing the ploidy. If you look at cauliflower, this has used protoplast fusion to put together two species that would never cross, cauliflower and radishes, so that you can control breeding characteristics. If you look at your seedless melons or seedless grapes, these are all have chromosome modifications in their changing what's called again the ploidy. Even it potentially may capture grapevines, because if you look at how the scion is grafted onto the resistant rootstock, which was actually developed at UC Davis, you are having gene mixing between species again that would not occur naturally. Now I know this was not the intention of those that drafted the measure, but in effect, if it passes, these will all be captured and of course will open everyone, including organic farmers, up to lawsuits, and sadly that's the reality of the outcome, of course not necessarily what the intent was. But really the other point with this is you're also going to be limiting the capability of the farmers themselves to take advantage of some incredible technologies that are coming down the line, and technologies that are very of great interest to the local farmers here in the Rogue Valley. For example, frost is an issue, right? And with biotechnology that's being worked on in universities, we're developing frost-resistant, especially tree fruits, where you have these master switches that can turn on genes that basically do fast acclimatization and protect them against frost. We're looking at issues of climate change. And with climate change, as you know, the growing conditions are changing, and two very specific types of impacts you are looking at are increased potential for drought. And in Davis, we are developing plants that allow these plants to exist even under severe drought conditions. So they may undergo no watering at all for 15 days. The control plant is dead. The biotech plant jumps back to life when you water it. We have plants that have been modified that will grow in high salination conditions where you get over irrigation. You also look at some of the benefits that are out there right now, because environmental impact, of course, is of huge interest to people. And with the technology that's out there, you've got great reduction in the amount of chemicals that are being used to grow our crop plants. We use about £1 billion less insecticides now to grow these biotech crops. That's a reduction of about 18% in our environmental footprint.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that if Measure 15119 passes all this research, it won't be able to continue.
You will not be able to continue for local farmers. They will not be able to take advantage of it, and you will be at a competitive disadvantage down the line. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to stymie the ability of farmers to use all of the best possible techniques in any circumstances, and sadly that's what will happen with this measure.